Good day to you, gentle person on the internet, and thank you for joining me as we take a look at Space Gecko. And I'm very excited to have found this game. I thought it was absolutely adorable and cute and endearing. It's aimed at a kind of a younger age group, but it is still a very pleasant experience for an older player to go through because it's wholesome. It's so fun. It's a little bit of light-hearted. It's like watching cartoons, really. It's just a little bit of touch of childhood and comfort and enjoyment that I think is really well made. I have a few critiques. We'll leave them to the end in the usual process, but yeah, between now and then we're gonna have a look. I'm gonna play about half the game, just to showcase it to you guys and leave some of the puzzles and things for you guys to come and figure out. The link is in the description. Come and give it a look. It's heartily recommended. But before we jump in, I just want to talk about something quickly. And I know that a lot of you just here to see the game. Fair enough. I promise we will jump in as soon as possible. In fact, maybe somebody will timestamp the point at which we start looking at the game, and you guys can jump forward to that. But what I want to talk about is the source of the game. And this is quite difficult. It's a very sensitive subject at the moment, and I definitely don't want to upset people, but I do want to be. I think it's an interesting thing to consider. And I haven't really planned what I'm going to say about it. This is a little bit of the flow of consciousness, I guess is the word. So this is a game made by students. And I was like, oh yeah, great. I am very, very much in favor of students creating games. I think just that fundamental understanding of just computers and game design and all those kind of things are incredibly powerful mental techniques to learn. Very, very useful, incredibly significant, no matter what occupation you go to in the future. Just understanding computers and understanding the psychologies and the flows and things like that around game design is an amazing set of mental tools to have. So start off with fantastic. And then I saw it was a homeschool group, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Homeschooling is I want to say controversial to a certain degree, because there is some levels of homeschooling that are absolutely awful. They wreck kids, they isolate people from the world around them, and yeah, it can be a bad thing. On the other hand, there is some homeschooling that is absolutely brilliant. It is the kind of focused, one-on-one, tailored education that produces really advanced people. It is like here is learning shaped to you as an individual person, as opposed to kind of the school learning, which is just generic mass production lines. It is the difference between something that is mass produced and something that is tailored for a specific person, off the shelf versus an expensive tailor place. So it can be a powerful thing, or it can be terrible. And I like the idea of a homeschool group, because that does lean it a lot more towards being a powerful educational system as opposed to an awful educational system. So yeah, I'm thinking, okay, great. This is a homeschool group that is teaching game design and gameplay as part of its, whether it's like actually part of the syllabus that they're working through, or if it's part of the equivalent of an after-school group or whatever. Either way, fantastic. And then I saw it was the Light Homeschool Group, and I was like, what is the Light Homeschool Group? And it is a Christian homeschool group. And then this gave me a big moment of pause. Now, personally, I'm not religious at all. I'm not a religious person. I don't get into any of that kind of thing. I don't, it is not part of my world. I was brought up in a religious context to a certain degree. I had friends who were very much interested in things like that, but I drifted away from that side of things. So I'll already have quite a, hostile is the wrong word, but quite a defensive perspective to anything that is religious, because it has not been good experiences in my past. This is a group in Oklahoma, which is quite I think a religious core in the United States. and yeah, so like a Christian group from Oklahoma. And bearing in mind, this is the context of what is happening in the US at the moment, and there is a lot of political and sociocultural upheaval that does not appear to be going in good ways and good places. The rest of the world is quite angry with it. It's not a happy time. So I was very inclined to just go, no, I'm not looking at this game. You know, to hell with this. There's got to be other games out there. But then it occurred to me, it's like, I suppose the opposite of the Nuremberg defense. It's like these students, these kids making a fun game are not the people that one tends to have issues with, you know, when dealing with this kind of sort of intercultural conflict. So why am I judging these kids based on what is going on in the broader picture? They're not making those decisions. They're not doing the things. They're still forming their understanding of the world. And I thought, yeah, this is an important stance, an important perspective to take. Is let's not prejudge this group of people. Let's not run away from them because of how more fundamentalist sets of their community are acting. Let's instead just look at what they produced here and see if it's the kind of thing that people want to play, which is kind of what we do around here. And so I sat down and I played the game, and my first fear that it was going to proselytize at me was unfounded. It certainly didn't try and give me any kind of educational, beating that I've seen in a lot of these things. There is a hint of kind of moral teachings, which I do actually like to see. I think games should have a fairly stringent morality in them. I don't think games should always be, this is how you should think and behave about things, because that's not what gaming is about. Games give us the ability to look into different perspectives and look at different consequences to our actions. I think games should strive to be realistic about those kinds of things. But it is still to have moral moments and moral questions raised in the game. And I was glad that this game did it without, as far as I could tell, I just played it through the once, without turning it into a religious perspective and a diatribe from that side of things. So yes, we're going to jump in. We're going to look at this adorable game. We're going to look at the absolutely lovely voice acting. I think that was the main thing that convinced me about it. It's just how cutely the game is voice acted. And I think we're all going to enjoy it. So let's jump in. As I said, link is in the description if you want to take a look at yourself, and let's enjoy the game. Right. So as you can see, there's this gorgeous artwork in the start menu here. The game was not made using generative AI, as far as the web page claims. So there might be a little bit of AI in the background just to start things up, or I don't know. I'm not quite sure what is considered generative and what is considered like general AI use. But yeah, so this isn't AI slop, is I suppose the kind of point I'm trying to make. I'm thinking this beautiful artwork is mostly handmade. I hope it is. Yeah, it is very, very cute. And the basic idea is that we are a gecko, a humanoid gecko, and an anamorphal gecko on his way to Animatopia. I think that's the name, which is a planet for lots of animorphs. But we have crashed our ship, and the vibe is very kind of Saturday morning cartoons, kid shows, that kind of thing. Absolutely adorable. So let's jump in. Wearing a carved pumpkin on your head prevents Endermen from becoming hostile when you look at them. So we've got a little bit of Minecraft help there.
Wait a minute. The ship must have crashed.
Alert. Power core failure. Multiple damaged units. Powering down.
Well, I guess I'll have to go outside to see what I can find to fix the ship.
So here we are, stumping around in our natty spacesuit in our little sort of main lobby of the ship, which has crashed. And I'm guessing we've just woken up from, hypersleep or something along those lines. I don't know. We were just standing in the middle of the room. Maybe we just zoned out for a while. Anyway, having a look at the game. First of all, bottom left, this is our inventory. We have nothing in our inventory. we have a door to the cockpit.
The door automatically locked when we crashed. I don't think it will open until I find a way to power the ship.
So, no power means door doesn't open. We have block toys.
Those animal nuts must have a lot of time on their hands.
Yes, why there are block toys on the spaceship? I don't know. Animal noughts apparently like playing with block toys. I guess that's supposed to be like Lego or something along those lines. We can't really look at ourselves. We have an exit, so let's press the button.
I must have lost power when I crashed. I'll have to find another way to open it. It leads outside, but we're out of power, so I need another way to open it.
So yeah, so we have a door that we cannot open. Let's have a look at the power chamber.
I guess that's where the ship gets its power.
So this is the thing that we need to power up to give ourselves power. There's a button that just opens the power chamber
Whatever
opening.
fuels the ship's power system goes there.
So we need to find something appropriate to shove into the hole. But we don't know what that is. So yeah, we're a little bit stuck at the moment.
How childish. Why would an astronaut crew need fundo? Non-toxic edible fundo. Ingredients include non-toxic edible fundo base, blue 1, blue 2, yellow 5, red 40.
Isn't red 40 the coloration made from beetles or something like that? I don't know. It rings a bell in my head. I'm not sure about it.
It's a bottle of Toucan Dew. Toucan do it too. Warning, don't mix with minties.
So we have picked up our bottle of Toucan Dew. We have a blender.
Making Astro smoothies maybe?
Astro smoothies. And that appears to be it. And I was very stuck at this point. I could not figure out how to open the door. And it was actually reading the comments that gave me the hints that helped me forward from this particular one. There is a block separator down there. And I have to say, I didn't recognize what that might be because I never used a block separator when I played Lego. I used my fingernails and my teeth to get the blocks apart. Yeah, through many years of fighting with Lego blocks as growing up and things like that. You can use other blocks to pop them open and things like that. We never had fancy block separators when I was a kid, so I did not know what that was, and I didn't realize that it was something that you could separately click on. Like if I mouse over it now, I can see that there is a block separator there, and I would have had a look at it, but because I looked at the block toys and I looked at the block toys, and okay, and these are two different groups of things that yeah, so. To the devs, I would heartily recommend having the block separator out a little bit, or I don't know, like it's part of the puzzle to find the thing that makes the thing forward, but when the puzzle is that it's kind of blended together with another thing and you don't recognize it as a separate element that you can interact with, like I've interacted with that, as far as I know I've interacted with everything there. You know, you kind of want it to highlight on mouse over and then highlight differently or something, so you can see that it's a different thing. Yeah, it's a fine balance between how to hide something for a puzzle versus how to make something. You know, don't use the UI as part of your puzzle mechanism, at least not in that way. Anyway, so block separator.
Maybe this tiny lever can help me.
Maybe this tiny lever can help me. So we have a little block separator. Does look a little bit like a hand giving him a middle finger, but I'm guessing that's not intentional. Anyway, block separator on the door. And we have successfully opened the door.
The force of that broke the block separator.
But we broke the block separator. I mean, yeah, fair enough. Anyway, so let's hop outside.
Whoa. Looks like I'm not in Animaltopia anymore. The ship's a mess. No wonder the computer said lots of stuff was damaged. Guess I need to figure out a plan to fix the ship if I'm gonna get back home.
Alright, so we can look at outer space.
Wow, it's bigger than I imagined.
And of course, space is bigly big. But this does seem to be a very friendly planet, seeing as we haven't needed a mask or anything like that. There's some bits of metal, but there's a couple that are clickable. So we have an odd-shaped piece of metal.
I'm sure it's a complete coincidence that this piece that broke off the ship is shaped exactly like a pickaxe.
And it's a pickaxe. And then another thing that was apparently fairly hard to spot was a flower-shaped piece of metal.
A piece of ship debris shaped perfectly like a flower.
And then another thing that definitely needs some highlighting, or at least some kind of visual clue that is there, is the way to get back into the ship. Because if you just click on the ship...
Rocket 5000. I was supposed to clean it. But what can I say? Geckos are known for their curiosity. I didn't mean to accidentally launch the ship.
So we were supposed to be cleaning the ship, so this is a janitorial suit, I guess. But we launched the ship, traveled here, and crashed instead. Anyway, the way to get back into the ship is this over here next to it, rather than on the ship itself. So that's how we get back into the ship. That was a bit of a struggle. I couldn't figure out how to do anything with that. Anyway, here we have a burning bush, which is probably about the only real kind of Christian reference that I recognized and spotted here. But again, I was concerned it was going to proselytize, but it doesn't. It simply goes...
A fiery candy bush? Hopefully it won't burn everything in my pocket. I can't resist taking a piece.
It's a bush of on fire cotton candy, which is a very strange idea. I don't know if that's an in reference or something to it. Either way, I thought it was cute. Strange
This tree smells sort of sour, like pungent cheese.
So the tree smells like cheese. Important to remember for later. And then we have a cave over here, kind of shaped like an igloo, and a purple fruit.
It's purple and smells sweet, like fruit.
But we just
It's purple.
look at it and don't touch it. And then we can enter the cave.
What's that? Something's moving over there.
So we have a moving thing, which is apparently an alien. We have various rocks with crystals and gold pieces, stalactites. There's a book up there. There's ketchup, fruit leather, and a lunchbox and a forge. So there's a lot going on here. It's all very cute. I'm very pleased to see that there's lovely sort of string lighting everywhere. So what do we do? Well, let's look at the moving thing. That's a very, very important bit of game design, is if you want people to interact with something, make it move, make the light focus on it. It's how to guide your players into positions and things like that. And I thought this was a nice little bit of implementation of that. So,
Hello?
What? Can't you see I'm busy here?
what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Minding my business? You should try it sometime.
Stroppy alien.
Hello?
What? Can't you see I'm busy here?
Sure why that conversational thing stopped the conversation.
Can you help me? The ship I was on crashed and lost power, causing all the doors to lock shut. I had to use a block separator to pry the main entrance open. And with all the doors locked, I can't even begin to assess the damage the crash caused. So, you'll help?
I'll tell you what. I'm quite hungry. Starving, in fact. This sauce has taken much longer than I intended. Why don't you bring me something to eat, and in return, I'll give you what I can spare for your ship. How does that sound?
I guess I could.
Splendid. I was thinking something sweet and juicy, with a mild tang to it.
What, like fruit? Where would I even find fruit in a place like this?
You seem determined. You'll figure it out.
Sound level dipped a little bit there. So we need to find fruit for the alien, but meanwhile we can rummage around the cave a little bit. So rock with crystals.
What's hidden in this rock? It's pulsing slightly.
And rock with gold
Is
pieces.
that gold I see sparkling through those rocks? I can't reach it.
Out of reach at the moment.
Some kind of alien book. Some kind of alien book. Is that ketchup? How odd. Ketchup is always green in Animaltopia. What a strange planet I'm on. Is that dried strips of fruit or a decoration? What treasures lie inside this mysterious box? Oh, that's it? Oh look, it's a fresh, juicy cucumber. Never mind. Why would I want a pocket full of cucumber dust?
So we have a cucumber that is crumbled into dust for some reason. That doesn't sound healthy, nevertheless. And we also have candy.
Never know when you might need a breath mint.
That we've apparently just nicked. So yeah, fair enough. Bit of a divergence from our previously moral standpoint, but yeah, so we've nicked I'm assuming the alien's breath mints, but she seems alright with it, so what the hell.
I'd prefer a diamond pickaxe, but I guess this will work.
I mean, it's a game with a pickaxe and things hidden in a rock. Obviously we're going to pickaxe it. And we get ourselves a crystal. For what? We're not sure, but we're just taking it anyway. And of course there is gold. We have a pickaxe.
Yeah, let's mine some gold. I wonder if there are any piglins around.
And there's obviously a couple of Minecraft references in there. And also, if you can see, we're wobbling the stalactite a little bit with our mining, which has now fallen down, fortunately not hitting anyone, and broken. But we've got some gold pieces. Let's have a look at the broken stalactite.
A little souvenir from this strange planet. Plus, it might be useful.
So we've nicked the stalactite piece. And I think that's everything we can touch in the cave for now. So leaving the cave is down at the bottom here. Again, could do with a little bit of visual reference of some sort, just to say this is an actionable point. You know, like all of the other actionable points have visual references on it. You need to be able to guide the players into to knowing what they can and can't touch. So let's have a look at the fruit.
It's purple and smells sweet, like fruit. I think I'll take it.
So we nicked the fruit, which is in our inventory. I did see people also saying that these little points which you can click, although it does highlight it, is a very small point. You need to kind of carefully aim at it. I would have moved the inventory a little bit further right, and then just had the whole, like a big block at the side, invisibly marked out where it was clickable, things like that. No, but you can also look with moving the mouse button. That's quite nice. Anyway, let's give the pineapple to the alien.
Is that a purple pineapple I smell? Well done. Give it here. Ooh, it's perfectly right. It's missing something. This pineapple needs some flavor. Something earthy would make that pineapple tang really pop. Would you go find something like that for me?
No, you promised me parts for the ship.
If I recall correctly, I asked you to bring me a meal. This fruit will not satisfy my aching hunger. If you've made a habit of not seeing things through, you'd better get used to living on this deserted planet.
It was a little rude of the alien, but nevertheless, it is a fair point. I don't know. Anyway.
Earthy? It's practically compost at this point.
So we have some cucumber dust that we can now give to the alien. And this is the interesting point.
You came back. So, what'd you find me?
Because it gave me an actual branching option here. I could either lie about it or I could tell the truth. Now previously I told the truth and it was fine. So let's lie and just see what happens.
It's a mix of Italian spices. I found it on a ship.
This doesn't look Italian.
It's, space grade. I hear it has a better flavor.
Alright, that works for me.
So, how's the pineapple now?
It's just not quite right. There's no excitement. It's missing texture. Bring me something with a buttery and sharp flavor.
Like what?
You'll know when you see it.
Are you kidding?
I have a reward for you this time. So, you'll get me some cheese?
Oh, so it's cheese you're wanting? Well, I guess there's nothing better to do.
Alright, interesting. So it doesn't seem to give me any immediate consequences for lying about it, unless there's a consequence later. I'm wondering if there is a consequence later, or that was something that they were planning on building into the game that didn't get implemented, or it's just there for interactive flavor. It's an interesting question. I don't know, but I am going to stop there, and I'm going to let you guys come and experience the rest of this game. It is very cute, it is very wholesome, it goes all the way through, has a nice sweet ending. Yeah, I do heartily recommend it. So if you are just here for the gameplay, plus my little diatribe on the source, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Link, as I said, is in the description. Come and give this game a gameplay. Come and give it a bit of a rating. Come and give the devs some love. Yeah, a very competent crew of student developers, as far as I can tell, led by is that Space Cadet Becca? What was her name? Starship Captain. Okay, not a Space Cadet. Starship Captain Becca. Yeah, really good job, guys. Bravo, well done. So yeah, come and give this game some gameplay and some love. And if you liked or disliked the game, don't tell me I didn't make it. Come and tell the dev team, because they made it and they deserve all the credit for it. Yeah, heartily recommending it. If, however, you like or dislike this video, then click on the like or dislike button here on YouTube. And yeah, if you can, if you feel up to it, leave me a comment, ideally telling me why you liked it or disliked it. I would appreciate it knowing it, so I could make better videos in future. Otherwise, if you want to leave me a comment about anything else, then just tell me a story, tell me anything. I'm yelling into the void here. It would be nice if the void spoke back on occasion, and obviously it also boosts engagement with the video, so there's a benefit for me on that side of things, and for you actually, because this is a video about making games and playing indie games. And if you like indie games, it's good to train YouTube to teach it to that you are interested in videos about that, and then commenting on the video will actually help train the YouTube algorithm for you. So yeah, I do recommend that. And obviously click subscribe if you want to see me review more indie games. I do a game a day. That's kind of what I do around here. So that's it for the gameplay. Let's talk a little bit about a critique. I mean, I've already given some critiques about the UI, the clickable areas, and the kind of game design to show where interactable areas are. Remember, game players are, from the perspective of your game, kind of dumb. We don't know what we can click on. We don't know what we can use. So giving little hints that guide us in the right direction is obviously a very, very useful element of game design, and UI design in general. In fact, anything. So just assume that your players are, in this particular instance, a complete idiot and will just miss what you're doing. So design your UI around going, okay, this thing you can use, this thing actually helps with this. Yeah, it's a very important consideration in UI design in general, especially in games. There's no kind of tutorial or anything like that. We're just suddenly standing in the middle of this room trying to figure out what we're supposed to do. Yeah, I mean, again, for a game like this, click on stuff and see what it says is enough. I don't think you need a tutorial to teach the vast majority of players how to play the game, but a good tutorial is wrapped into a good introduction to the game, and a good introduction helps, especially if it's interactive, really helps give the player a starting good experience. And that starting experience at the beginning of a game, or the beginning of anything really, but a game in specifically sort of gives them a good perspective on it. And if you have a good perspective on something, then you are more likely to forgive later bad things that you might find. So, you know, if you start a game well, and even if the rest of the game is boring, the player's still going to have a good time because they're in a positive mindset. However, if you start the game badly, even if the rest of the game is amazing, players are going to be negative towards it because they started in a bad way. So the first, 10 seconds or 30 seconds of a game is very important to go, here is a fun experience, this is how you play it. Yeah, get them comfortable, get them settled in comfortably, and then you will have players that stick around and have a good time. And not just players, any UI, any interaction design as well. If it starts well, if it starts comfortably, if it starts in a friendly way, you are more likely to get people to have a good time in the rest of it and to settle in well. That's just my commentary there. The sounds are fine. Obviously, there's a little bit of an issue with the sort of sound levels, recording some of the voice bits. Other than that, yeah, the game sounds absolutely fine. It's very cute, it's very wholesome, it's very comfortable. I like the music. it's not too invasive. It's not too aggravating. Do we have a menu option or anything like that? No, we don't have any quality of life sound controls and things like that. Yeah, I mean, I always like to see that sort of thing, but it's not important in a game like this. It would be a consideration if you want to take the game a bit further, just to have some things where you can change the sound levels of special effects versus background music and sort of the overall sound and that kind of stuff. So that's why I always talk about it. It is a nice bit of comfort for a player, gives them a sense of control and agency over the game that they're entered into to play. So I do always recommend that. The artwork is absolutely stunning. I think this is very, very cute. I love the cartoony design of things, but it's kind of a practical cartooniness. This looks like almost like a Picasso painting or something like that. It's a little bit crazy. It's a little bit wacky. It's very cute. It's kind of a surreal representation of the thing it's representing. It does well. It's a lovely little bit of artwork. And I like the character designs. The Gecko looks cool and smooth. The alien is just cute and adorable. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. Can I move around? Yeah, that's cute. Take a print screen of that. I'll try and use it as a thumbnail or something. Yeah, I think the art is fantastic. Gameplay was fine. Other than the slight collection of the UI events, it is a very classic old point and click, very along the lines of like Monkey Island and a Space Quest and things like that. Kind of like a kid's cartoon version of Space Quest, I would call it. Those were great games in the past. I recommend playing them if you ever have time and play capacity. Yeah, those old Sierra games were great. I don't know who made the Monkey Island games. Was it Sierra? I don't think so. Somebody else, really. Nevertheless, they, that was my gaming childhood. Those games. So I'm obviously going to recommend it, but I think they were good. Yeah, and I mean that's it. That's all the critiques I have for this game. I thought it was very, very well done. I thought it was cleverly designed. Other than a few sort of rough spots here and there, I thought it was cute and wholesome. It didn't proselytize. It did give me an enjoyable experience. So yeah, full marks, hardly recommended. And I'm going to say thank you for watching. Come and play the game. Come and finish the little storyline. It's very cute. Come and give the devs some love. And I look forward to seeing more that the Light... What are these guys called? The Light Homeschool Group in Oklahoma City might produce. Yeah, it was a fun moment, a fun time. Thank you for doing it. And thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.